What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here from Film Nerd TV, and we are back with another schmoedown reaction video for you guys. This one's a very special one. It is the continuation of round 2 of the Anarky Team Tournament as the founding fathers, the team of John Rocha and Dangerous Dan Merle, takes on Korruption, my boy Chance Ellison, and his partner Mike the Killer Kalinowski. Who do I have? You gotta go with a little Korruption. That's what I'm going for. Kalinowski and Ellison. Let's get to it.
The start of the tournament that I helped create. Coming off of Inner Geekdom, I did what I said I was going to do. Guess what? It's all going my way. Because you play fair. You play by the rules, and things happen for you. Just like I'm going to be playing for that belt. It's spectacular.
Chance Ellison is a kid who was playing in these fan leagues. There are fan leagues all over the internet here. He played in all of them. He won in all of them, and the rumor has it that he's never lost a match.
And your winner, advancing to the second round, the Cobra, Chance Ellison.
Now, you guys are going to be facing Dan Merle and John Rocha next.
Team Has-Been, you talking about? I just got Dan and Rocha. I mean, you got Rocha, he's got more failure in his match than the Captain Heigl movie, and you got Dan, who let Guy beat him. So, you know what? I'm not intimidated. Not one damn bit.
We've seen Rocha and Merle so many times. They come down, they try to intimidate their opponent. What are Winston and Stacy going to bring to this table?
Well, John Rocha and I decided to call ourselves the Founding Fathers because we helped build the legacy of this game.
Horseman!
5, 4.
Ian McKellen and Orlando Bloom.
And your winners, by way of technical knockout, the outlaw John Rocha, Dangerous Dan Merle, the founding.
What I know is John and I are, we prepared for this match, and we're going to keep preparing, and we plan to go out, walk out, play every game, and when the game's over, we're going to have the most points on the board, and that's all we care about.
Not tonight, buddy. Korruption, baby. Oh, this one's gonna be so good.
Well, it should. We are in the midst of Anarchy, round number 2. Mark Ellis over here. I'm Christian Harloff. And Mark, what a battle we have tonight.
It's going to be a doozy, Christian. We have the old guard versus new classics. It's like Young Guns 1 is playing Young Guns 2.
That's absolutely right. Listen, this is a thing that Mike Kalinowski put together. Well, we say Thad, but we know that Kalinowski was the one who put it together.
Pulling the strings, the puppet master.
And one of the things that it might have backfired on him was that inside of this randomized tournament, John Rocha and Dan Merle, once foes, are now teammates. And they showed at their first match at the live event. They took care of business when they beat Stacey Howard and Winston Marshall. They did it. They got here. And Mike Kalinowski was also playing coy. Who's this Chance Ellison kid? Well,
never heard of him.
Well, we found out. We know who he is now. 7 questions right in the first. They fought well to get back against Rachel Silvestrini and Devon Stewart. They wound up winning that match. And here they are going into round number 2. But you said it. It's new guard versus old guard. Can Chance Ellison, can he put up a performance against two of the greatest of all time?
That's right, John Roca, Dan Merle. Now that they've had some success and they've experienced failure, they've had some hurt of late in the movie trivia schmoedown in general. Can they come back, former team? Certainly, like you mentioned at the live event, I flew 4,000 miles just to see them play. Not since the Foo Fighters have two Fs come together so well. Now, when you look on the other side, Korruption, Mike Kalinowski, Chance Ellison. I'm a big fan of this Ellison kid. What is he, 9, 10, 11? He's a prodigy. He's like 11. The Bobby Fischer of movie trivia schmoedown.
Well, we're going to find out. He was playing out in the fan leagues for a while, and he had never been beaten. So Mike Kalinowski recruited him, brought him in, and here we go. We have him in Korruption. But the other thing that we have, John Roca is going under the radar here, potentially Player of the Year. He won a lot of matches. He is now going up for the championship right around the corner here against Bibiani. And Dan Merle, I saw it in his eyes. The Dan Merle from 2 years ago seems like he's back. When I looked at he's hungry again. He wants to play because he's like, win or lose, he just wants to play the game again. I think when he came back, it was just kind of thrown back into what it is now. I think he gets it now. I think he just wants to play again, and that is, pun intended, a dangerous Dan.
Well, we're at the time of the year where you start thinking about Player of the Year honors, about awards, and if you're going to compare these two teams to current award caliber movies, I would say the Founding Fathers, they're like First Man, some of the first to ever do things. Korruption, A Star is Born, minus the romantic tension. Let's see what the teams themselves had to say.
All right, all right. Founding Fathers, that's what we called ourselves because we built this thing. The greatest of all time. And the other face on Mount Rushmore. Coming together. We took care of business at that live event. You saw it. The man back from the dead took care of us. Answered all those movie release dates. I had to sit back. It was nice to sit in the back seat and watch Dan drive. Watch the new Merle Order drive this bus.
Here we are, gentlemen, round two, where the tournament starts really getting interesting. And we, the fine fellows of Korruption, are taking on the Founding Fathers. And much like our Founding Fathers here in these United States of America, their ancient history. We got a fresh face on the other side of that table. Do. I like having an inexperienced player because you know what? Sometimes they work out, but sometimes they get caught in those lights, John. Yeah. And I like that we're facing somebody that just might happen. It's easy to be a fan of the game. Can he play the game, and can he play the game against the two of us? Right. That's what we're going to find out here today.
I get a lot of people asking me, what's it feel like, being in your second match, having to go up against two all-time greats in Merle and Roca? How do I feel? I feel like I'm fighting fucking fossils over here.
I've had just about enough of Korruption. When it first started, I was like, that's cute, that's nice. You handle your side of the business. The schmoedown kingdom is big enough to let you live and let us live. But now you're coming up against the Horseman, son. We are the league, and we are going to crush you.
There's no weak links in the second round. There's no one. There are fantastic teams here. We came into this, some people are saying that, they're the favorites or whatever, their history or whatever, but hey, they're great competitors. Not going to dodge them on that. They earn my respect, but this is where it ends for them. It's the end of the line.
I don't look past games, and I don't look past opponents, and I don't look past what we're doing here today. But if we're lucky enough to win here today, and I get a chance at that other half of team action, oh, I can't wait for that.
Roca, Merle, your has been, I am now. As in, I am now going to go with boy Mike right here into that ring, and we're going to beat both of you.
Kid speaks the truth.
He does. Today is about looking at the past and then going to the future.
Angry Dan, a driven Dan, a hungry Dan is a dangerous Dan. I'm so lucky you're riding side by side with this guy. We'll see what happens in the match.
Well, Ken Knapsack was the one kind of shooting his mouth off and saying that this is the team to beat and really pumping up the kid. And then Mike Kalinowski's a triple threat in singles, in Inner Geekdom, obviously, and in teams. So Mike Kalinowski's someone that you can't mess with in behind the scenes. In front of the trivia desk, he's always a threat. Now, Chance Ellison, that was his first match. What is he going to do? Not just under the lights here in this big round, but big second round, but when he looks over and there's the former team champion, singles champion, and then there's the former two-time champion. Will he be able to handle it?
To quote Mark Wahlberg in the classic Rockstar, he grew up with pictures of these guys on his walls, and now he's one of them, or he may be beating both of them. here today. Christian, what's the tail of the tape? Give me some strengths.
Tail of the tape for Korruption. We don't really know all the strengths of Chance Ellison, but we're going to go ahead and say we have 90s movies. There are comic book movies, and staying under the radar and just listening to Ken eat Taco Bell.
And going to summer camp. He's a child.
Yeah. The Founding Fathers, movie release dates we see was a strength. Westerns, biopics, and on the quest for every title, all the titles, all the belts, all the records. That's a direct quote.
One team is...
We're going to go
So you guys
to the
ready?
rules.
We're ready.
Founding Fathers, are you ready?
Let's do this.
Yes. We're ready.
Then let's get ready to schmoedown! Full house here today.
The crowd is
Full house.
enthusiastic because when you ask the competitors they're ready, they barely warbled a yes. Are they nervous? Are they tight? Or are they sleepy?
No, we're going to find out right now. Here we go, gentlemen. In the category of comedies, Aaron Paul appears as Dwayne Johnson's former partner, Phil, in which film?
I auditioned for RB3's movie today. Didn't get it.
Oh, it's
Didn't book it.
I made the call.
Didn't get it.
I made the call and told him not to
Are you a
cast.
producer on the...
5,
Show me the
4,
Carfax.
3, 2.
I can't think of it.
Aaron Paul appears as Dwayne Johnson's former partner, Phil, in what film?
You know what RB3 told me? He said his people will be in touch with my people. Can you believe that?
I can believe it.
Haven't heard from his people?
I own his people.
No.
5,
Not him, his people.
Not so
4,
much as a phone call.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Mike Kalinowski.
Central Intelligence?
Correct.
Central Intelligence.
Roca.
I don't know. Central Intelligence?
Correct. And
Central Intelligence.
yes, Dan.
I remembered it, but too late because I said the other guys.
Oh, so Dan.
I remembered it after the bell.
All right, so we got 2-1. 2-1.
Merle maybe a little rusty from that long drive from Beverly Hills all the way out to where we shoot our show in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Rush hour.
On to action-adventure films. These are action-adventure movies. In the 1996 film Twister, the new device designed to gather data from tornadoes is named after what fictional character? You know what band unceremoniously broke up after Twister?
What?
The Mighty Van Halen with Sammy
Really?
Hagar.
5, 4.
Humans Being, great song
3.
in that movie.
You're still talking. 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. Roca.
Dorothy?
Correct. Chance.
Didn't have it.
Didn't have it. Dan.
Dorothy.
Yeah. Mike.
Didn't have it.
Mike didn't have it either. So the Founding Fathers jumping forward and getting a lead there. 3-2. Next question here. Dramas. Which song plays during the opening credits as Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper start their journey in 1969's Easy Rider?
The tornado device in Twister named Dorothy, of course, in honor of the Golden Girls character.
5, 4, 3, 2,
No.
1. Pens down, please. Chance.
Born to be Wild?
That is correct. Dan.
Born to be Wild.
Yeah. Mike.
A Man Comes Around.
Oh, and Roca.
Born to be Wild.
Roca had it.
And
So-
whatever comes our way.
All right. So, next question. Mark.
All right. In the world of animated movies is your next query, and it is, what is the name of Bambi's rabbit friend in Disney's Bambi?
Good old bands.
One could say
Oh my
Bambi and her
God.
rabbit friend, Born to be Wild.
5,
Oh,
4,
my God.
Oh,
3,
God, I'm good.
2, 1. Pens down. Dan.
Thumper.
Correct. Mike.
Thumper.
Yep. What's your name? Roca.
Thumper.
And Chance.
Thumper.
Yes. All right. 7-5. 7-5. All right, guys. Fantasy sci-fi. What 2000 sci-fi film starring Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore follows a group of astronauts being terrorized by their own robot after their Mars mission goes awry? Don't use that word enough, awry.
Yeah, that's... it's awry. You said it right.
Yeah, no.
Not awry.
5, awry.
Awry.
4, 3,
It goes awry.
2, 1. Pens down. Mike Kalinowski.
Red Planet.
Yes. Roca.
Nah, Mission to Mars. I was with Mission to Mars.
And Dan.
Red Planet.
Dan got it. Dan on fire now.
Thank you, Dan.
8-6.
We move on to Scott Manson, Ben Bateman's favorite category, movie release dates. And your question is, Oliver Stone's historical drama JFK was released in what year? We are going to go to Mars, and we are going to send Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore
5.
there.
I'm trying to stop at 4, 3,
2006?
2, 1, pens down, please. And John Roca.
I don't know. 1991?
Correct. Chance.
1991.
Yep, Dan.
1991.
And Kalinowski.
1991.
Oh, look at that.
A lot of games
I like it.
going on
I like it.
right
I
now.
like it. But it's a hell of a game right now as we got 10-8 as we get to our next question. Horror/thriller, gentlemen. Horror/thriller. In 1982's Poltergeist, who played the father? Stephen Freeling.
Wow,
They all
not wasting their time there. Do you think they're going to act like they don't know the answer
Yeah,
again?
Roca probably.
It's so entertaining when they do that.
5,
It doesn't
Oh my
waste time.
God.
4, 3, 2, 1. Chance.
Craig T. Nelson.
That is correct. Dan.
Craig T. Nelson.
And Kalinowski.
Craig T. Nelson.
And Roca.
With a Ben Bateman. 3, 2, 1. Craig T. Nelson.
That's correct.
Coach, great sitcom.
So, I mean, look at this. Founding Fathers here up by 2 points over Korruption, but it's a hell of a game.
12-10. Father's Korruption sounds like a discount gin brand. We move on to our last question in round number 1, and it is a Patreon question. Thank you to Jake Hammer.
Thank you,
Loyal
Jake.
patron Jake. Give a round of applause. The Hammer.
Clap for the patrons,
Wanna get
Chance.
Your name mentioned on the future episode. Just support the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon. Select which tier is right for you. Jake, big fan of family films today. Wants to go with the family films. And your question about this family film. Name the family film from the following quotes. Attention campers, lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it. Glad I tickled every time I heard that.
Tough question in the first round.
It's a good first round.
Great first round.
And they're
5,
scoring well.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, starting with Mike Kalinowski.
Is it heavyweights?
Correct.
Dan.
Roca.
Good job.
Chance.
Heavyweights.
And Dan.
I said The Sandlot.
Wow, tie game. Tie game.
That's right.
And Kalinowski hit it. Founding Fathers had a great first round, but missed that one, and that is a hell of a first round as we have a tie game there. Wow, what a first round that was, Mark. How does round 2 work?
In round number 2, now the teams are allowed to collaborate between their members to come up with their best attempt. Thank you, Kyle, for all your patronage. We also have one more sponsored slice. Those would be Kevin Smith. And if they spin Kevin Smith, we'll say the name of that patron. Each category has 6 questions. Like I mentioned, each question is worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer, at which point the value of the question goes down to 1 point. Keep in mind, competitors, there is stealing available in round number 2. Christian got a lot of leather on one side, a lot of accoutrements on the other side.
All right, Founding Fathers, so you guys, would you like to go first or second?
We're going to go second.
Second. All right, so Korruption chooser, and please spin from the wheel, not the pegs.
Let's go, money.
Grab the wheel, not the peg. All right, that Jim Henson one is
Kalinowski,
I'm fascinated.
And Alex, the PAA, is cringing, hoping that the peg doesn't fall.
Here we go, as I apologize to our editor, Aaron.
I'm hoping they hit something they like.
Looking at spinner's choices coming around there, a little too hot. A little too hot. It could be Jim Henson, though.
Action Adventure. Action Adventure.
They feel
He likes it. All right, Action Adventure. You do it, you do it.
They feel good about that one, and I will be administering the questions in the world of Action Adventure 2, the Corrupt 2. And your first question of 6 in this slate, Chance and Mike. What Game of Thrones star played Pero Tovar in The Great Wall?
Pedro Pascal.
It is, in fact, Pedro Pascal for 2 points. Woo! And they're off to a hot start. Your next question. What film was Jean-Claude Van Damme's directorial debut?
The Quest.
Starring Roger Moore as well. 2 more points.
Woo! Good round here so far. Korruption is.
Next up, who plays the female love interest to Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde?
Sophia Boutella.
It is, in fact, Sophia Boutella. And they're still perfect. Round number 2 as we're halfway through. Next question. In Mad Max Fury Road, what is the name of Immortan Joe's followers who are chasing Furiosa and Max and that he was once a part of? That Nux was once a part of?
The War Boys.
It is, in fact, the War Boys. And
it's impressive.
Do we just give them the next points, or do we have to ask the question?
Impressive. This is
very good stuff here. Your penultimate question in round number 2. What real-life author does Paul Bettany portray in 2001's A Knight's Tale?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, William Shakespeare, B, Geoffrey Chaucer, C, Thomas Mallory, D, John Milton?
John Milton.
Chaucer?
It is, in fact, Chaucer. Give him one more point.
It's all right.
And they have one more chance for points in round number 2, unless they steal.
Hell of a round so far, though. Hell of a round.
Doing very well. You got to wonder if the Founding Fathers are shaking in their powdered wigs. Your last question is: in 2004's Troy, who plays the main antagonist Agamemnon, whom Achilles begrudgingly fights for?
Eric Bana.
Brian Cox.
Yeah. Very impressive. That is correct. 3 more points.
Wow. So, all right. So, Korruption taking a huge lead. 11 points here. 11 points, and the Founders have to hit something that they are confident with here. And Roka, go ahead and give it a spin, please, from the wheel. There's the spin.
Grabbing it from the wheel. He looked it over a little bit. Yep. Trying to decipher how hard he wants to get a spin. He's been up at this wheel more times than he'd like to recount.
They need something that they're going to be strong.
It could be spinner's choice. It's coming around a little too hot.
No.
Is it going to be Jim Henson?
Jim Henson.
How do they feel about it? Merle, give it a sign to spin again.
There's the spin.
That is their mulligan. They're going to have to take whatever category they spin.
I'm going to laugh at the spinner's choice.
Could be Jim Henson again. You never know. James Bond, clearly a strength of Kalinowski's. They would probably like to avoid that.
Probably will be.
And it looks like they're going to be coming up towards horror movies here, Christian.
Horror!
Horror movies, not a strength of either one of these guys. So, horror movies. Horror movies.
All right, horror movies. I know you're afraid of horror films.
Yeah.
Are you okay reading these questions?
I am indeed. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. They might get some supplements, they might get some hard ones. Here we go. Did you see The Nun? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
2 points. Yes, 2 points.
All right, here we go. First question in horror: who plays the girl who was possessed? Regan McNeil in 1973's The Exorcist.
Oh.
Linda Blair.
2 points.
Throws up pea soup. It's gross.
Question 2: who played Candyman in the 1992 film Candyman?
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
2 points. Okay.
Yep.
Next question. 4 teenage outcast girls pursue witchcraft for their own gain, but soon encounter negative repercussions in what supernatural horror film?
Is this The Witches?
The Craft.
2 points.
They're running through a category they didn't necessarily yearn for, but it's bearing fruit so far.
There's question 4. In Bubba Hotep, Bruce Campbell plays Elvis Presley, who is forced to battle the evil mummy with his friend Jack. Jack claims to be which famous ex-president?
Damn it. Jack Kennedy.
Correct. All right.
That is correct.
Or John F. Kennedy, if you want to be specific.
That's fine. All right.
That's what their friends call him.
I knew Jack Kennedy.
You will know Jack Kennedy.
Question 5. Question 5. In 2000's Scary Movie, who plays the series' main protagonist, Cindy Campbell?
Is it horror?
Anna Faris.
2 points.
All right, they are within 1 of taking the lead or tying Korruption. It all depends on this last question.
All right, here you go. How many films have officially been released in the Paranormal Activity film series? You have 20
5
seconds.
The first one, the second one, and including the
5, 4,
5.
3.
We'll do multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, 3,
It's
B,
5.
5, C, 6, D, 8?
It's 5.
Let's go.
5.
5, 4, 3,
6.
Correct for 1 point.
Yes!
We are tied going into round
Let's
3.
do this, boys! Let's have some fun!
As we now see a tie game horror. What maneuvering around that category. 23-23. Who'd have thunk it there with those categories as we now get to round number 3. Mark, tie game. How's it go?
This is good stuff right now. The Founding Fathers looking like Alexander Hamilton. Will Korruption end up being their Aaron Burr in round number 3? Each team is going to give us a series of numbers. They range from 1 to 20. Each number you give us corresponds to a different category up here at the answer desk. Your first question is going to be worth 2 points. Final question in round 3.
All right, so Founding Fathers, please choose 3 numbers.
8, 12, and 6.
8, 12, and 6.
All evens, Christian.
All right, so for Korruption,
What's the range again?
from 1 to 20.
1 to 20. Okay, so we'll go 16, 20, 18.
16, 20, 18. All right, so Korruption will go first with their 2-pointer. And let's
Come on,
start
Korruption.
here. All right, 16 is what you guys chose. And you got directors.
All right, here we go.
Who's choosing directors?
We're talking it over.
I'll take it.
You're going to take it. All right, here you go, Mike. Directors. Ridley Scott, David Fincher, and James Cameron have all directed films in which film franchise?
Alien.
The Alien franchise.
That's correct. 2 points. All right, now we jump to the Founding Fathers, who got category number 8.
All right, Founding Fathers. Mr. Washington, Mr. Jefferson. Selected category number 8. That corresponds to the world of dance. These are dance movies. Who would like to take dance movies? The subject, you close the door.
What do you think?
I guess I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get the 3. Yeah, I'll take the sword on this one.
John Roca
Congratulations, guys.
will be answering dance movies. And your question
Can I
is...
phone a friend?
Black Swan stars Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis competing for the lead role in what
Swan Lake.
classic ballet?
Swan Lake.
2 points.
He loves his dance movies, and the knowledge paid off here.
I got culture.
All right, we bounce back. We bounce back here to Korruption. Now, Chance Ellison will
answer
go
was
with
in the title.
crime movies. Crime movies. Here you
Come
go,
on, Chance.
Who plays NYPD cop and friend of Freddie Heflin, Gary Figgis, in Copland?
Come on, Chance.
5.
I didn't get the first part of that question. Can you hear it again?
All right, that's your first one?
Yeah.
Who plays NYPD cop and friend of Freddie Heflin, Gary Figgis, in Copland?
Push still on.
Correct, looking for Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta. All right, bouncing back to Dan Merle now for the
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
All right, so Dan Merle gets a 3-pointer here for number 12.
Which corresponds up here to my answer desk. The world of sports movies.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, shit.
Movies with some sort of athletic ability, and your question
Come on,
is,
Dan.
in Remember the Titans,
Fuck.
who played Coach Yost's football-loving daughter, Cheryl?
We have 2. 5, 4, 3.
JTE.
All right, in Remember the Titans, who played Coach Yost's football-loving daughter, Cheryl?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Damn it.
Looking for Hayden
Panettiere.
Wow. Well, so back and forth we go.
Still tied, 5 pointers each.
I've seen that
So
like
now-
one time. I don't remember that.
So remember the Titans again, coming back to rear its ugly head.
Haven't I misremembered the Titans before? I gotta watch that movie.
All right. So Sam Levine, it hurt Sam and it hurt Drew, and now it gets dangerous, Dan, as we now get to Korruption, who's got their 5-pointer. If they hit it, they bounce back and force the Founding Fathers to hit their 5, or if they miss it, they give the Founding Fathers a chance to win the game. Here you go. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock is your category. Sandra Bullock, here we go. Name the 2015 film that pits political strategist Calamity Jane against her arch rival Pat Candy, played by Billy Bob Thornton. Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the question.
Name the 2015 film that pits political strategist Calamity Jane against her arch rival Pat Candy, played by Billy Bob Thornton.
Our brand is Crisis.
That's correct.
Yeah!
Big there gives Korruption a chance to win the game.
Fuck! But the Founding Fathers have a chance to tie it and send it into sudden death overtime. A duel, if you will. Your question.
Category number 6, right?
Which you are allowed to collaborate on, does come from Christian's guest number 6. And it's from the world. He had dance movies, he had sports movies.
Oh boy.
Now you get romantic comedies.
No!
Sorry, crowd loves it. And the Founding
How many
Fathers
JT
are allowed
rules
to
are left?
They have one left.
All right. Gentlemen, your question. Damn it. For 5 points and to send it into extra innings.
Can we get him to calm down over there, or is that...
No, he's not doing anything. He's
That's fine.
Not you, fool. Nobody's looking at you.
All eyes on me.
Please.
So exciting.
Come on, let's go.
I would agree with that sentiment. Who played Ralph, the kidnapper, in Robert Zemeckis' Romancing the Stone?
God.
Jesus Christ.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We'll JT it.
Last one.
Who played Ralph, the kidnapper, in Robert Zemeckis'
Come on, Korruption.
Romancing the Stone?
Give it a shot.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Danny DeVito.
That's correct. You motherfucker.
Oh my God!
And the Founding Fathers are going to sudden death. Roca pulling the Ben Bateman move and sending it in and even tricking his own teammate.
And getting a JT roll usage in the process. So neither team really having much to take with them into sudden death. It's pretty much their movie trivia know how their reliance on each other, but it's really going to depend on the strength of the individual as opposed to the sum of the parts now that we are here in sudden death.
All right, so as we get to sudden death, Mark is going to give the rules on how it works.
In sudden death, it's going to feel a little bit like round 1, but the stakes have increased exponentially. This will determine the outcome of the match. We'll ask a question up here at the answer desk, and you write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard in front of you. Each question is worth 1 point. Here's the kicker. If one team comes out of each question with a better score than your opposing team, you're going to win the match. So let's say the Founding Fathers get 2, Korruption only gets 1, Founding Fathers win, vice versa. Obviously, there's no stealing, and there's no relying on your teammate for their knowledge in sudden death. It is up to the individual. All points you get do accumulate on behalf of your team. Founding Fathers and Korruption, I will ask the individual, starting with Dan, going down the line. You understand the rules of sudden death, and you're ready to play.
Yes, sir, I do. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Willing and able to assist in the case of emergency.
All right, guys, if you're ready to go, here we go. And Korruption does have one last JTE rule. The Founding Fathers are out. All right, here we go. And I'm not going to tell you categories either. Here we go. Who directed 1999's The Three Kings?
I'd already be out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Dan.
I didn't get it written down in time. I know that it's David O. Russell. I did not get it written down in time. I wrote down Spike Jones. David O. Russell I tried to write down there. I leave it to your judgment.
Can't accept that you don't have anything there at all. So
David O. Russell.
David O. Russell.
Fuck. David O. Russell.
And your winner!
Wait! I thought you said it counted. You said he's the first.
Wait, I thought. I'm sorry.
Wait.
He got it right.
Let me see a second. All right, wait a minute.
Wait.
All right, we are back, and much debate going on here. Phone calls were made, conversations were had. This is the biggest challenge we've ever had.
These are the quality checks that we issue to bring you the best possible game.
Here is the official ruling. I'm not doing this one. Mark, here you go.
I seem to do a lot of these, and I'm happy to because I'm a fan of refereeing the rules. And at the Rules Summit that we had many months ago, we determined that in order to get a correct question answered in either round 1, the betting round 3, or in sudden death overtime, it's a time question. So not only do you have to think of the correct answer, you also need to write down the correct answer in the time allotted. It's the same amount of time for every competitor. Just because one competitor is asked first to reveal their answer, the other 3 competitors are not allowed to continue writing. It's the same rules for everyone, and with that ruling, that does mean that Korruption will be winning and advancing to the next round of the Anarky Tournament.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
And that's the ruling part.
And with that, Korruption has advanced to the next round. Woo! Mike Kalinowski, Chance Ellison will play against Mark Riley and Ben Bateman. And wow, I mean that was something.
I don't see controversy in this match anywhere. He clearly has
What was
not
the
written down
controversy?
to Russell
Dan
the
did not
time
have it
allotted.
written
Now,
down.
obviously, you can say
He
that
had
Chance didn't write down to Russell the proper way, but it was phonetically correct. Therefore, the point is awarded. It's a tough way to lose a match. I'll give anybody that, but it is how they lost the match, and it was done fair and square by Korruption, who knew now they were going to move on to play in round number trace.
All right, we're going to get to talk to Jen Serger, who may or may not be with the teams.
We all know who's showing up right now.
Thanks, Mark and Christian, for putting me in this fun spot back here. Yeah, obviously, guys, I'd like to say congratulations. I'm sure none of us wanted the match to end the way it did with any kind of controversy, because I think we all want to win clean around here. But the rules that we ironed out in our rule meeting specifically said punctuation really doesn't matter as long as phonetically you spell it correctly. And there is no other, I looked it up, there is no Irish
I was going to say this.
David O. Russell.
I dealt with this before with Frigga and Phrygia. I spelled it wrong and I pronounced it wrong. He spelled it right, pronounced it right.
Pronounced it right.
End of debate. That's it. I've dealt with this before. To see it go to that level, it shouldn't have gone to that level.
It shouldn't
And that's
have.
why it ruled that way. It sucks, but...
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been there. We've all seen this happen, and we've ironed out these rules for a reason in case these type of things happen.
First of all, I want to. You don't need to worry about us, Jennifer. You know I respect you as a professional. You're not in a tough spot here.
Ken.
We're happy to be here talking about this match, and what this is about is it's a check by the box. It's a victory. It's 2 Titans meeting, and that's what this was. And yes, by that I'm inferring that this is now a Titan of the game. This wonderful chance coming in here and really showing what he's capable of here. And this is about a man who's had the entire league on his shoulders, in a way, exposing the corruption, what's going on. There's a lot of other things going on in his mind. So to have you perform like a champion today, Mike, it was a pleasure to watch. And I know the other gentlemen are upset. I know it didn't go their way. But at the end of the day, this was always about truth and destiny. And that's what we're here today for.
I can't sum it up any better than that. Hey guys, we're back with the Founding Fathers. Guys, obviously, I know this is not the way you wanted this match to go down. This is not how you wanted this match to end. I think we're all a little surprised and confused and are going to need some time to process this whole
You're not
thing.
the only ones.
Not really.
But
he said it right.
I honestly don't even know what to say to you guys. What are you feeling right now?
It wasn't a David
listen,
Russell.
First of all, if John doesn't pull Danny DeVito, we don't go to sudden overtime, and Korruption wins outright right there. If I come out with Hayden Panettiere on my question, which I missed, we win. If I write David O. Russell down in time, we're playing at least to another question. So John took us as far as we went in this game, and if there's anybody that you want to look at for the loss, it's me. I mean, there was a lot of times where I could have stepped up and I didn't step up. John carried us in this game.
Don't say that.
John, you're shaking your head over there. What's going on?
Dan, you answered a majority of our round 1 questions. You did a great job. It's just, look, what do you want me to say? Yes, the Danny DeVito thing was a great pull, and it was nice, it was fun, and I didn't even know if it was right or not, but I remember him being in the movie, so I got lucky. But this thing here, I was happy to let Dan lose the point, as long as the David O. Russell, that's another heritage. That's a man from another frickin' island, okay?
Yes, but there's not a David Russell.
Russell. O is another name. O is not
There is
O,
not a
apostrophe
David Russell.
It's
There
a
was a David
ridiculous
Russell who
decision.
directed,
And to
then
have
it would
it
be
come
different,
down,
but there's not.
where it could have easily
You knew
been,
who he
look,
was
we'll
talking
take 1
about.
point from you, 1 point from you,
said
we'll play
it
another
right.
round, and then neither one of us would have had a fucking issue. But it becomes a thing. You throw in the respin, you throw in the rules have been fucked in this game, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. The rules change
every 2 months. Oh, now it's this, and now
They
it's that.
iron out the rules.
I mean, I could argue Dan answered first. It doesn't matter what he writes on his stupid-ass whiteboard. He answered first, so he's right. He's not cheating off anybody.
He
the
had to
whiteboard's supposed
write
be
it down.
backup, so if you fuck
Dan
up the question,
had
if you hear
scribbles.
someone else say it, you don't repeat it and then cheat and get a point. Dan's not cheating. He should have gotten the David O. Russell. Then they could have gotten the David O. Russell. Then we still would have been tied and start all over again. That's the fair way to do it. So I just don't like the decision, and it's frustrating. And I'm very sorry to everybody. I blew up and blew up on the. But I care about this game a lot. I work really hard. I spent hours studying movie trivia to be good, to pull Danny DeVito out of my ass. I spent a lot of hours doing that shit.
And you don't
this
think other
man does too.
competitors study?
And I respect and I love him, and I hate that we lost this way because I have no problem losing in an honest competition, and I feel like that decision screwed us over. So I'm sorry, Jen.
No, listen. The last time I was standing in this spot, talking to you, right here, I was where John is right now with this game. It had taken me down as low as it could take me, and I didn't want to come back and play it again either. I really didn't. And getting the chance to play with this guy is what brought me back. He was the first person to text me after that match to tell me how much I was going to come back and kick ass.
And you did.
So, as surely as I knew that he was right when he told me that I was going to be back out there, I'm just as right that he's going to get out there again someday too.
This isn't just a game for those of us who play, for put our asses out there, for you guys to make fun of, and for you guys to come see or support us. We work hard to win, to play, to do our characters, to do everything. You can see the emotion in his eyes, you can see the emotion in mine. I hate losing this way because this isn't how warriors go out. We go out losing on our shield, not by a decision. And that's my issue with it. That's why I blew up. I have no problem. You've seen me take losses and not have no blow up, not get upset. Just go, you know what? He was just better on that day. But something like this goes to the heart of the game, the competition of the game. And that's why we're both emotional about it, because we know one more round, we'd have been fine. If we don't get the answers right, game over. Fine. And I know Korruption would have been fine. Regardless of Kalinowski being a little bit upset, he's a good guy. He would have understood. And Chance was in too. So the decision was easy, in my opinion, to make. 1-1, we move on to the next round. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep on, but
2-1.
You know.
I think it goes without saying that you two are two of the best, if not the best players we have in the league. And so much of this league is built on your shoulders. And I mean, it's hard standing here with you guys because it's like you guys do mean so much to this league. And I mean, I'm really excited, John, to see your match coming up with Bibiani. And I hope that this doesn't sour the whole situation for you because you do mean the world to this league.
I work too hard. And I don't know if I'm going to do the title match, I'll be honest with you, because the shit you get from everyone, including competitors, including fans, you're handed this, they took away this, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. All those accusations, I have to hear it all in the wind. I'm just playing. People say, Christian says, you got to play this, you got to play this. I do what he asks me to do because I love the game. And I take the shit because I love the game. So, when people put it down, when people scoff, when people make fun of it, I defend it.
I love you both.
Yeah, like I said, I just look forward to walking out with this guy at the Spectacular and watching him win the belt again. That's what I look forward to.
Bibiani?
And who knows, if he beats Bibiani, I guess in the Spectacular he'd be... First of all, I'm going to watch him go out and beat Bibiani. Then I'm going to walk out in the Spectacular and watch him defend that belt unless I'm the one playing him. Because you know why I'd be playing you, John? Is because you brought me back. You helped bring me back from where I was, and I'm going to help bring you back. And this is not for show. This is not for a drama. I'm not the character guy, as I hear a lot on every schmoedown forum that there is. But I'm telling you, I've been here, and I know what it feels like, and I love playing with this guy, and I can't wait to help him remember how fun this game is. Because they played a hell of a game, and I had a great time out there today.
Ironically, Mark Ellis,
I gotta go blow my nose, guys.
who made this decision, you gotta respect, he's one of the founders of the game. I'll get over it. But Mark Ellis said this too. When Roka goes down, he always gets back up. So Bibiani, I'm over it now. I'm coming for that goddamn title. I'm gonna fuck your world up, kid. You jumped in on every judge question because you think you know better. You pissed me off. Now I'm coming for you, bitch.
get fucking ready. No heels, no face. I want that title around my goddamn shoulder or around my fucking waist. But either way, I'm coming for it. So get ready. Get ready, you clown.
That was a plot twist.
Very, very emotional interview, very powerful interviews.
Heart-wrenching stuff.
Yeah, and all the way around. Look, Korruption takes the victory. They are moving on to play Bateman and Riley in the next round. And I don't want to take anything away from those guys, so they played great. The kid played great. Kalinowski played great, and they're moving on. You got to listen, this was an emotional moment. This is a tough decision also for you, because we as we moved forward, like you said with the Rule Summit, what we had, the rules are set in stone at this point. That was the rule. You made the call. I stand by your call. I agree with you, and I think that now that this thing goes through, you look at it's the passion with what Roca and Merle play with. You saw it in that interview, what they have done for this league, what it means to them, and you had a chance to talk to John a little bit afterwards, and you can tell he's just fired up because this means a lot to him.
In this word anarchy, you expect chaos. You expect crazy things happening on the stage. You never want it to come down to a ruling like that in sudden death overtime, but that's how the ball bounces. And when you look at John Roca and Dan Merle, we said at the outset of this tournament, who's going to have the best team chemistry could potentially let us know who's going to win this whole thing. Well, Roca and Merle, we had no idea how they were going to play off one another. I think that match and that post-interview proved that they might be put on this earth to complement each other in movie trivia schmoedown, not just with their knowledge, but also with being the emotional backbone for one another in the same way that Merle, when he was down, looking at Roca and seeing what a champion, how a champion carries himself. Now Roca looking at Dan and seeing John Roca run the gamut of emotion during the course of a post-match interview. He's ready to throw it all away and retire and ride his horse into the sunset, and then he dug deep. He saw that resolve, a la Rocky, staring at himself in the mirror in Rocky 3, and now he's probably already doing wind sprints with Dan Merle on a beach somewhere.
It's funny you said that's exactly what I think. They're Rocky and Apollo at this point.
But we're fans of the film.
They really are. They have become really close friends because of it, and it's funny from where you watch where they went from as competitors against one another to legit, and this is like just as friends and how much it means. And Dan was able to talk Roca and just let him know his support is there, and I believe that when Roca is there at the spectacular, Dan's going to walk out with him, unless, of course, like you said, Dan being playing him, but Roca's got a big step to playing Bibiani. He's got to play Bibiani. He's got to beat Bibiani, and now he's got the support. Is this going to hurt him going into that match because it's right around the corner, or is he going to rise above it, or is that determination to beat Bibiani going to do it? But I don't want to take it away from Korruption. They have advanced. Mike Kalinowski, Chance Ellison, the kid really came to play. He was the MVP of this game.
Oh, yeah.
And now we've got Korruption going up against who's the boss, Ben Bateman and Mark Riley.
Oh,
and that's going to be something.
Yeah, did you notice in the match, I don't want to say it was a passing of the torch, but a little ceremonial gesture of Mike Kalinowski to let Ellison pick the numbers for round 3 that they wanted to select. We ended up going to sudden death and getting an all-time great match. And for anybody out there who thinks that ruling was controversial, you can go on the message boards, you can go in the chat rooms and all that stuff. Don't yell at any of the competitors. In the words of the great Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy, don't go after my kids. I'm a man. I'm 40. You come after me.
Well, and also thank you to everybody. Thank you
I'm
all
not
the
40.
patrons.
I'm actually 38.
All right. Well, thank you, patrons. Make sure that, once again, sign up. Check it out. This month is the horror exhibition match, and you guys can get it for Halloween. Just make sure it's exclusive just for you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
I love horror.
Thank you. Thank everybody. We'll see you next time.
Alright, guys. That was a very great match. It went to sudden death. Roca can complain all he wants. He knew the rules going into it. He knew what the rules were. There's not a director named David Russell. Or another one named David Russell. So the David O. Russell, you knew what he said. He had it on his board. He said it correctly. Now, if he said David Russell, then you could count it wrong, but he said David O. Russell. He had it close on his board, so it counted. Dan had scribbles. He said he had scribbles, so they didn't give him the point. Chance had it right. Roca had it right. That's 2-1. No controversy there. It was fair. Roca getting emotional at the end, of course. He's a passionate guy. But, take your losses. And you learn, and you grow stronger from them. You don't let your losses weigh on you. This was a fair match. You don't go after the questions. You don't say it was wrong. You knew the rules. You knew what the new rules were. You knew everything about that. I understand him getting emotional, but you can't fault the ruling. And the ruling was Korruption wins. Simple as that. Alright, guys. If you enjoyed this reaction, hit that like button. Subscribe to Film Nerd TV below. Hit the bell icon and join the Nerd Squad today. If you are a fan of pro wrestling, check out the Week of Wrestling podcast. Myself and Nico Swalway Regoli, with sometimes our special guests. Talk everything from WWE to independent wrestling news. And this past week, the new episode of the Week of Wrestling, we have special guest of, somebody who loves professional wrestling and someone who is a pillar in the fan community. Sandy, the Sandman Robinson, joins myself and Nico for a special Week of Wrestling. So, this next one's Saturday night, we will be discussing the NWA 70th Anniversary Show. Alright, guys, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys Friday night with Roca versus Bibbs for the title. Peace.